September 29, 2025. This is the S&P 500 E-futures mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. There was no economic data today to really move the markets, and it was kind of a low volume day. There were a lot of these little whipsaw price action things, but these legs are actually not very many candles before they reversed or kind of found a correction. So that made it not really optimal for finding a lot of too many trades. I did mark a few trades. There are two really great trades. Unfortunately, I didn't jump on them. And I did jump on one trade and it turned out to be profitable. And probably about the turning point right around, I'd say 9 o'clock Pacific Standard, things really started to slow down. I didn't really see that many more trades. Overall price made like this big spike, sideways consolidation, a leg down, and then I didn't find this bigger trading range, although it doesn't really help until much later, and it just looked like it was just kind of whippy, choppy whipsaw. So I'm going to the trades right now. So in the pre-market, it had this really strong rally, this really strong leg up. It had broken, tested the high, burst down on this orange down channel, pushed back up, made another attempt to test the high, then it pushed down on this pink down channel. And then on the open, so you could technically say it's a new high here. The first entry long pullback, second entry long break of this red down channel technically has tested the low, but this isn't a very clean setup. I didn't think there was any trade here. Pushes up, creates a new high. Technically you have a new low here. First entry short. You have an inside bar, so you could argue there's a second entry short, but this is ambiguous. Plus this candle here wasn't the most convincing follow through, especially with this inside bar here, where this is the signal bar for your second entry short. Pushes down, looks like it was one leg pullback. Second leg might be a second entry long here. So if you drew this micro channel, maybe there's a break, test the low. It's like a first entry long, second entry long. This isn't a very good signal bar to go long on, so there would be no trade here. And if you did try to take the trade, it would have potentially just failed on you because it went even lower. Then it started to reverse up this orange up channel. Looked like it was a first entry short, pullback, second entry short. To go into looking at it at real time, second entry short. Okay, so here you're not thinking short. And here I have an inkling, but I don't have this drawn as resistance yet. So there's no key entry point here. You have a second entry short confirmed here. So it's first entry, second entry. You might have a resistance now. So I drew a preliminary line holder here and actually had this a lot lower as a range. So it looks like it's a first entry short, second entry short. I'm looking for a lower high now. Pushes up. It creates kind of a triple test, but you don't really have a trade here. A quadruple test, so multiple tests. But the follow through, it fails to break below this. Let me go ahead and normalize it. Fails to break below this support area. So that leaves me a little concerned. Is there going to be a resistance here respected? Is it going to break and try to test the high of this orange up channel? And then, like the next candle, doesn't really help its cause to try to go short. Definitely not to go long because you might have a micro range here. I was thinking something like this, but I since deleted it because it didn't really help. So start pushing back down. My only hope now is it comes back down here to confirm a bounce here. But it bounces here. So actually, I thought perhaps the range might be tighter, something closer to this. And this could be a failed breakout. Pushes up. You have a first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short here, but these bars are too neutral. It's respecting the top line pretty well, so I trust this as a resistance right now. There's a failed breakout here. First entry long, pull back. Potential second entry long. I'm watching really closely how it reacts to this support line. Pushes down and actually gives what I think is a possible trade. So this resistance here, or this support here, is looking pretty good. Looks like it's one leg down, pull back, second leg. So this is a new high. First entry long, pull back. Second entry long confirmed on this trigger bar. I thought this might have been possible trade. There's two legs down, possible coming from a failed breakout. And this signal bar engulfed, or this trigger bar engulfed this terrible signal bar. So if you're thinking of going short, it reverses completely on you, has a decent solid close, but I thought it might have been possible trade. Pushes up, breaks out another potential failed breakout, break of the green up channel, test the high. starts coming back in. It's getting pulled back by the trading range. So technically you have a first entry long. You also have a first entry short. You have a second entry short now. Break of this red down channel has tested the low. Creates a second entry long, but it's not very clean. This is a bad signal bar. I would not be thinking of going long when I see this. And then watching the follow through isn't that great. Pushes down, hits this. I'm very curious to see if it's going to create a support here. There's a failed breakout here, and it created a corresponding failed breakout here. This measured leg, 2 legs up, looks like it was kind of completed. Pushes here, and it creates multiple tests. So it creates a visual first entry long pullback, second entry long. I actually thought there was a trade here. And 2 legs down, bounce off the support, measured move. I have erased it because it kind of got messy, but you have a measured move completed right to the tick. You click on, okay, so there's a measured move right to the tick right here. It's reversing. I thought there was a possible trade. I wouldn't try to take it on the engulfing just yet unless you just trusted the multiple test here. So if I waited and watched this close, I'd probably try to enter maybe 1 tick above here, hoping a reversal will come back and pick me up. But after seeing this, then it's too late. So you'd have to have kind of taken this right or had your entry right after the signal bar on this guy closed, trusting that this has already worked itself out. Which is up. So if you miss this, there's no way to really jump on this. There's a higher low, but it's too far now. Which is the first entry long pullback, creates the second entry short and technically a lower high. So it's new low. You have a first entry short, second entry short, but I saw it more of as visual first entry short, pullback, second entry short visual, but it's also lower high because you could say it's a visual first entry short, second entry short. Technically, this high is higher than this, but it is a lower high. I thought there was a possible trade here. Break of the green up channel has tested the high and made 2 attempts up, and now it looks like it's reversing. Which is, so also I want to point out that I wasn't too concerned about the EMA right now. I'm thinking prices are moving back into this range because it's making lower highs each subsequent turn, and it looks like it's pushing through. This would have worked, at least for 1 point scalp. Starts reversing, it's choppy, you have a new low. You kind of have like a visual first entry short, second entry shorts above the EMA, no real clean setup, looking for a lower high. You don't get a lower high, you get this really big strong push down. So now I'm just waiting. The first entry long pullback, second entry long, this is just congested. There's dojis, really small bodied candles, followed by more small bodied candles. I'm not really trusting this. Pushes down, looks like it's moving down this orange down channel. It actually fits pretty well. 1 touch, 2 or 3 touches, but mainly 2 touches. Looks like it's 1 touch, 2 touches. It's riding down this pretty well. Break, test the low. There's a clear breakout at the bottom. The first entry short, pullback. I'm actually interested to see if there's going to be a second entry short right here. You have a potential second entry short. It's a break of the green up channel, has tested the high. This orange down channel technically needs to test the low, although it had a breakout here. I am a little reluctant to take a short though, because it's the first entry short, second entry short. It's the first break of this. So I want actually a lower high, but there's a possible second entry short here. It never triggers, so you don't get a second entry short. Pushes to the high, so there'll be no trade here. Now there might be a visual first entry short, second entry short. This is so huge that I'm like extra cautious. So I'm looking for a lower high, which is, and actually gives you the lower high. This is where I take my first trade, my only trade actually. So looks like this breakout has made a corresponding symmetrical breakout at the high side. You have a, by the count, technical first entry short, second entry short, pushes up. You have a lower high now. It moved up 1 tick, couple ticks, flushes down, closes at the low. So I want to enter this trade. I enter 1 tick below this guy. You can see this little pink triangle. Went short, had to sit through this. My stop's way up here. And it flushes down and gives me the quick 1 point scalp. So I wasn't looking for any 2 point scalp necessarily because I was debating it initially because when I first enter the trade, it's always default to a 2 point scalp, but I bring it down to 1 point scalp. When I see this, then I see this, then I'm definitely thinking, okay, I just want to get out of this trade for the quick 1 point scalp. Finally, it takes me out. And this would have ensured a 2 point scalp, but I wasn't so sure after I saw this stack up of this expected move down. It was stalling for a little bit. The prices continue moving. It's a low. It looks like it's moving down this red down channel, but I'm not the biggest fan of this red down channel right now. It's a little shallow. Break of this orange has already tested the low. Break of the green up channel has tested the high. It's kind of consolidating. First entry short, second entry short. Now I'm not really sure to go short when I see this. Pushes down, looking for a lower high now. Actually it pushes and makes a new low, so I'm not there's a lower high here, but it's too far from the EMA. Already made a new low, so I'm not expecting to, or not thinking it's a safe trade to try to go short. Pushes down, pushes up, creates the second entry short. It's a new low, first entry short, second entry short. The reason I mark it as almost trade is you have one touch, two touch, three touch confirmation. Low side looks like it's holding pretty well. Looks like it's one leg up, pull back, second leg. And this would have worked, but I called it an almost trade because I wasn't firm on this channel yet. Like if it was more firm, I would have colored it in, something like that. But now it looks like it is maybe a channel in play. Comes down, pushes. Now it looks like it's moving sideways, sideways break of this down channel. Pushes up. Now I'm not so sure this channel is in play, so I kind of made it transparent again. So it creates a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long, bad signal bar to go long on. Creates this. So I saw this in real time. I wasn't really sure about it, but this is the way I saw it. So there's a new low, first entry short, second entry short. Count kind of resets right here, double bottom. First entry short, pullback, second entry short. Okay. Then it kind of looks like it pushes down almost like a third entry short, and it creates what I thought was kind of a lower high, but I can't justify this trade because you can say it's a first entry long visual, first entry long pullback, second entry long, first entry long, second entry long, second entry long failure, and then a lower high. I wanted this to close as a red, but even then, I really can't justify a setup because I don't, it's kind of in my mind, I'm just kind of creating a reason to try to go short. And what stopped me was this green bar. If it turned red, I'm not sure that I would have taken it anyways, though. But this is kind of some emotions that I felt in real time. So it's just something I marked, wrote a bunch of notes about it, explaining what I thought I saw. And ultimately, there really is nothing here. It's just congestion. But I need to mark this for myself just so if I go back and review this video, I have my notes to explain what I was thinking here in real time. After the fact, it's clear there really isn't anything here, but in real time, it was a strong urge to like, I think there's a trade there. The prices move down on this orange down channel. These are just kind of congested. Keep in mind this gray trading range doesn't exist yet, so I actually just no harm to delete it right now just because it doesn't help. So prices move sideways, first entry short, second entry short, pushes up. Might have an EMA rejection, pushes back down. So I think I'm in a range right now. It's following pretty nicely, but I'm not a big fan of two dojis in a row. Just shows indecision. So new low, first entry short, second entry short, second entry short. Unfortunately, it's already at the low of this range. So it's a good signal bar. Unfortunately, the previous history of these two dojis leaves me very cautious. In this case, it would have worked, but there was no clear way for me to try to take a trade. Pushes down, new low, first entry short. Technically, I have a second entry short, maybe a second entry short failure here, but it feels again congested because these candles are just very tight. Look at this price stamp. This is just even up here, 6706 to 6702 to 6700. So this is actually only 6 points. And in that 6 points, these candles are, for the most part, only 1 or 2 points. And they're just, well, pretty much 2 points. And they're just kind of moving sideways, not showing a clear trend or even clear ranging action. Prices move up. Let me go ahead and normalize this. Looks like it's pushing up on this green up channel. Break, test the high, continues upwards. New high, first entry long, but it count resets, so it's a visual new high here. First entry long pullback. Second entry long confirmed here, but you would not have thought about taking a long here just yet. So I'm thinking of first entry long failure with a lower high below the EMA. So you don't get a failure, it just keeps moving. Pushes, so it's actually a first entry long pullback, visual second entry long failure, potentially a lower high below the EMA, but it kind of gets congested, so I'm not really looking for the lower high now. The character of the trade has changed, pushes down. You technically have a lower high here, but it's a doji, and it's a stretch now. Prices move down. Looks like it might be following down this red down channel. pushes all the way down. This is just piano keys right here, just side by side, different colored candles of the same size. Technically, you have kind of a range here, but it's hard to trade because each candle is moving pretty much the entire span of the range. Pushes up, so it's localized new low. You have a first entry short, and then you technically have a second entry short here, but it's so far away from what's happening. Also, I thought it was moving up this orange up channel, break, test the high. But this break and test look like it's two legs up. It feels a little dangerous to go short on a second entry so far from the EMA. So I'm looking for a lower high, and you don't get a lower high. It kind of makes a double top, and it keeps going. So now I'm thinking it might be moving up this yellow up channel. And also keep note of the timestamp. It's already too late in the day to try to make something happen. Break of this orange up channel, excuse me, yellow up channel, first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long here, but this is just ugly. Plus, it's so late in the day, it's only 5 minutes lit. I'm not really trying to take a trade here. Again, you have dojis, pushes up and into the close. So it was kind of a lackluster finish. And the trades today, or just the volume today, were very low. If you look at the entire chart, most of the setups kind of happen in the first half of the day. Second half is just a little bit slow, kind of a choppy mess. I'm pretty happy I just got the one trade. Missed out on potentially this trade, but I think you'd have to be a little quick and trust the multiple tests here. Other than that, there wasn't really that much afterwards that I could identify. So hopefully that was helpful.